Hello, everybody. This is week two of our videos that we do every week. So this year we're going to do more of a scenario to enhance an athlete's running speed. So this week, let me go ahead and screen share. Perfect. So this week we're going to be doing more creating a scenario where to enhance our athlete's running speed and discussing evaluate specific training techniques. So what I did this week was more towards strength conditioning, interval training, and plyometric training. Those three were the ones I was looking more towards a track and field athlete. Let's see, the one I was looking more towards because they're the ones that run more to enhance their running ability. So there were three articles, two of which was on the training articles, one was on power. So this first one was more on interval training, as you can see. Um, Start by measuring your heart rate. So basically, you want this is more to enhance your cardiovascular training and then also your heart rate. Um, so you start by measuring your heart rate. You should be under 120 beats per minute. So usually 120 over 70, that's pretty good for an athlete. So you want to make sure that's under 120. For any sprinters, you want to start then sprint at 95% of maximum effort. So let's say you're running a 4.2, like that's really good. You want to start going at 95% of your maximum effort. So you want to go at 100%, but a little bit under that 100 and 95%. And then you're covering 200 meters down the track before coming to a stop. So you're going to be going 200 meters down the track and then before coming to stop. So basically, you're going to go a little bit. You're going to go very fast, very hard, not 100%, just 200 meters down the track just to get. And then once you recover with your heart rate and it's dropped below 120, then you repeat. So you basically do it multiple times. It's basically going to get your heart rate up and improve your training. And then along the way while doing this, you're going to add sprints to those long runs too. This is essentially useful method for long distance marathon or ultra marathon runners. So this is more interval for speed, like really quick sprinters. This one to add sprints into your long runs. This is more for marathon runners. So there's different ways to improve your running ability. For me personally, I like to do both, like sprint work, but then also long distance running. So it's help get my cardiovascular and endurance training up very well. So that's the interval training I was looking at first. Then next, we scroll all the way down here to build your strength. So not only is it to improve your speed, but if you want to improve your speed even more, you need to do some weightlifting. That's the thing. So here, weighted lunges, plyometric box jumps, jumping squats, burpees. So you're implementing um, uh, kinesthetic type training to your running. So like weighted lunges. So basically weighted lunges, plyometric box jumps. So basically you're doing very fast box jumps to prove that you're jumping squats, burpees, press ups. But then I like to implement maybe some squats, front back squats, um, some hang cleans, stuff like that. So building your strength is really going to improve um, your speed. So strength conditioning, interval training, those two go hand in hand. But then also on this second article was more towards plyometric training. So plyometric training is a little bit different. So if we come all the way down here, plyometric training is to focus on hopping, jumping, bounding, hitting, and kicking exercise that must be explosive at sport specific. So let's say for running, um, looks really good, especially for um, long jumpers, but then also for running as well. This would be really good. Plyometric is basically um, go hand in hand with all the other two. So, and then there's right here, what I like is I also saw a little bit of these two articles. So if you want more information on this information on plyometric training, you can look at these articles or these as well to look at that. But then what I really saw was interesting was plyometric training should be undertaken by only athletes with high training age or well-developed base of strength and power training in the gym. So plyometric is not really for anyone under the age of 18. Anyone in college, this is really good for you, but I wouldn't broadly recommend for anyone under the age of 18. But if you are under the age of 18, make sure you have a well-developed base of strength and power training in the gym. If you're really knowledgeable on that stuff, even under the age of 18, then you could use plyometric. But if you're under the age of 18, I would not recommend to use this just yet, maybe more for college. And then the second thing we're looking at was for power. So this is what I was really looking at this article right here. When it comes to speed and power, it goes hand in hand, really connects those two together because without power, they're not going to really become a fast runner. So that's why you need to use some strength training, not as many high reps, maybe lower reps, more weight. Um, and then what that does is when you're on the block, especially for sprinters, that explosiveness, it goes up in the weight room. So it also goes hand in hand on the track. So when you're on the blocks and you have that explosive start could be a difference from a second or millisecond when it comes to finishing. It could be a difference from first, second, or third. That's how much this is very important when it comes to explosiveness. So that's why speed and power are crucial in athletic success, as their two elements are indispensable and closely connected to each other. Power is defined as ability to generate as much force and quickly as possible to movement. So having power is very important when it comes to strength training and to your explosiveness, especially if you're a sprinter. So that's why power is very important when it comes to this type of stuff. Not only for sprinters or runners in general, just for everybody. Like let's say you're for a wrestler. If you're strength training and you're explosive in shooting to the legs, like that second or split second is really important. So you could get maybe a 3-point takedown. Or if you're a football player, if you're going to be on the line and you're going to be protecting the quarterback, especially offensive linemen, basically having that explosive, I'm going backward to press the defending lineman to protect your quarterback. That 1 or 2 seconds could be difference in getting a touchdown or a field goal or getting field goal range. So that's why having the explosiveness is not just only for runners; it's for all athletes. So, but overall, that's what I was looking at when it came to this type of scenario when it comes to enhancing athletes' running speed. But I didn't realize that power also had a really big impact into this stuff. But overall, this was a really good week to look at, especially when different types of training. If I want to become a trainer in the future, if I want to be more into therapy, occupational physical therapy, it's really good at going to looking at athletes. Um, but thank you for looking at this articles with me, and hope to see you guys next week.